Okay, okay, all right. Sounds like we good. Hit the like button, y'all. We're getting ready to go live. Y'all hit that like button down below. Happy Mother's Day, man. I had to come in here and talk to y'all today. Y'all go ahead, hit that like button down below. Share the video if you're in the chat right now. It's a boy on Slaw Tree, man. It's Mother's Day, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, man. We got to represent for the mothers today, all right? Represent for the mothers, man. Happy Mother's Day, mothers. It's your day. Hope y'all having a good one, man. Hit that like button when y'all get up in here, man. Like the video. Share the video right now too. Let's get some more people up in here, man. I want to have a conversation with y'all today. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Hit the chat. Let me see who's up in the chat, man. Hit that chat. Get up in the chat. Let me see what's going on with y'all, man. I'm gonna go live in another minute, man. Just give y'all another minute to get up in here. I know it's Mother's Day. Some of y'all might be out having your little dinner and whatnot, taking moms out to eat and all that, you know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. Charlie, what's good, man? I see Charlie in the chat, man. Charlie, what's the deal, man? Charlie early. Charlie said Fab first 3 albums or Bleak first 3 albums? Come on, man. Come on, Charlie. You wildin' with that one. You know I'm Rockefeller for life, man. Charlie, you know I'm Rockefeller for life. So, Joe, Fab is cool. Fab is nice. You know, but it's The Rock, man. It's The Rock. Don't play with The Rock, man. Share the live, y'all. Share the video. Today we're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna give you another minute to get up in here. See how everybody doing this weekend, man. Sunday, Mother's Day. Hope y'all got your mom something nice little present. You can't get her a present. I hope you put something in her pocket. A little stack. Put a little stacks. Put some fugazes in her hand. You know, shout out to all the moms, man. Today I want to talk about a conversation I saw happening a couple days ago with Jadakiss and Fat Joe, y'all. And as always, man, if you're watching this later on the channel, hit the comment section, drop a comment. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all feel about this one. So I was watching, I see Tyrese in the chat. Shout out to Tyrese. Shout out to the Knicks. Yes, sir, Tyrese. Yes, sir. We're gonna bounce back, Tyrese. We're gonna bounce back, man. Shout out to the Knicks. You right. So I saw a conversation with Jadakiss and Fat Joe. And they were talking about who has the best rap album in New York City. And I started thinking, again, the question was asked. This was a conversation between Fat Joe and Jadakiss. The question was asked, who has the best rap album from New York? And I started to think about it. And I thought that this is almost one of those impossible questions, y'all. And don't get me wrong. I have a couple albums I put together that I think should be mentioned in who has the best rap album in New York. Charlie, hit the chat. Let me hear what you gotta say, Charlie. Tyrese, let me hear what you gotta say. Drop it in the comments. Here's why I thought that this was an impossible thing to do. there's a lot of albums that was released from artists from New York City. Like you think back to the like you think back to the 80s, right? There's a generation of the 80s, LL Cool J, Cool G Rap, Rakim, KRS-One, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, Latifah, MC Lyte, Public Enemy, like just the 80s alone. Just the 80s alone, you can probably read off a good 10, 15 albums that you might be able to say is one of the best rap albums outside of in New York ever. And then you go into the 90s, like the 90s was DMX, Ice-T, Wu-Tang Clan, Big Pun, Fat Joe, not Fat Joe, Big Pun, my bad. Well, Fat Joe got some good albums. Let me don't diss Joe. Joe got Don Cartagena. Joe got Jealous One Still Envy, which is pretty dope albums. You got guys like Raekwon, Nas, Mobb Deep, EPMD. Like you when you really start to think about, can you really name one album from New York that's the best album from New York? I think it's almost impossible. If you're in the chat right now, hit the chat, drop your opinion. Let me know what y'all think. Charlie has a comment. Charlie said, that's a hard question. Too much history in New York. Charlie, yo, you right, man. Like I started to think about it. And I started going through the era. I started going through the 70s, all my favorite albums from the 70s. I started going through the 80s. Well, not the 70s, really, not really. The 80s, and then the 90s. And then there are some dope albums in the 2000s, too. Don't get me wrong. Kendrick is doing it. J. Cole is doing it. 50 Cent came out in the 2000s. Nelly, like there's some dope albums in the 2000s, too. So don't get me wrong. But just that 90s era alone had me stuck for a couple hours. So if you're joining the chat right now, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Today, I want to talk to you guys today about a conversation I heard Fat Joe and Jadakiss having on I think they have a podcast now. I think Fat Joe and Jadakiss has a podcast and they were live. And they presented that question. Who from New York has the best rap album? Who has the best rap album inside of New York? And I have a bunch of albums I think should be considered. And then I have my top 5. Okay, so I got my top 5 albums that I think one of those albums could be best rap album from New York. So I need y'all to drop your top 5 in the comment section. Let me know what you're rocking with. Drop your top 5. Let me know what you're rocking with in the top 5. Charlie, drop your top 5. Let me see what you got, Charlie. Tyrese, drop 5. Let me see what you got. I'm gonna go through some albums I think should be in there. Charlie has another comment. Charlie says, Illmatic is Nas' best album, but Nasir is his worst album. Was Nasir the one that he did with Kanye West? Was that the Kanye West album? Or was that or was it Lost Tapes 2? I can't remember. Drop it in the comments, Charlie. So I'm going to go to some albums I think. If you're going to say there's one album from New York that's the best album from someone from New York, I'm going to read off some albums. Okay? First of all, Ready to Die. Like, Ready to Die is one of those... Ready to Die, to me, is a perfect album. Like Ready to Die to me has no flaws. When I listen to Ready to Die, it has a great beginning, a great middle, a great end. It has great production. It has great bars. It has great flow. The flow of the album flows perfectly. He's born at the beginning of the album and he deceased at the end of the album. Throughout the album, he changes up his style throughout the album. He even has one song where he's rapping against himself on the album. So Ready to Die is one of those albums that I always put out there whenever anybody asks me best album ever. Ready to Die is one of those albums. Tyrese has a comment. Tyrese says, the infamous, shout out to Mobb Deep, rest in peace, Prodigy. It was written. That's two solid albums right there. Paid in Full, EPMD. Shout out to EPMD, Parrish Smith. Ooh, Eric Sermon. That's 3 hard albums right there. Enter the 36 Chambers. My favorite album of all time. And Ready to Die. Listen, Tyrese, yo. That's a good list, yo. Let me repeat that list for y'all, man. If you're watching this later on and you don't see the full video, if you're just hearing this on the Talking Bars podcast, Tyrese says this is his top 5 that should be considered. The infamous from Mobb Deep. It Was Written from Nas. Paid in Full, EPMD. Enter the 36 Chambers, Wu-Tang Clan, Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G. That I find no flaws in that list, Tyrese. That's a tough list. That list is tough. All favorites. I love Infamous. I love It Was Written. I like It Was Written better than Illmatic. I tell you guys this all the time. I love Illmatic. It Was Written was just as good as Illmatic, and it had more content. So I always pick It Was Written over Illmatic. I love EPMD. That Paid in Full album is a classic. Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. That's my favorite rap album of all time. Ready to Die, maybe my second favorite album of all time. So Tyrese, thank you for that list, man. So I already said Ready to Die on my list. Enter the 36 Chambers is the next album on my list. Like when you talk about perfect albums and 10 out of 10 albums and album that had great flow, album that last over decades, albums that have great bars. Enter the 36 Chambers is one of those. Clayton Phillips is in the chat. Clayton, thanks for joining, man. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Clayton, today we're talking about the conversation that Fat Joe and Jadakiss was having. Fat Joe and Jadakiss had a question asked to them. What is the best rap album from a New York artist or artist? So that's what we're talking about today, Clayton. I would love for you to drop your comment, Clayton. I'm asking for at least 5. Give me at least 5 albums you think should be considered whenever anybody is talking about best albums in New York. My third album I'm going to put Hardcore in there from Lil' Kim. Listen, Hardcore from Lil' Kim is one of those albums that changed the scope of female rap albums. A lot of female rap albums before Hardcore, they weren't that raunchy. Like Salt and Pepper dipped and dabbled in it a little bit, but Salt and Pepper didn't go as far or as deep as Lil' Kim went. Okay, shout out to Foxy Brown too. Foxy Brown came out at the same time. No disrespect to Foxy, but Hardcore is one of those albums that changed female hip hop forever, and a lot of females today is still copying the success of what Hardcore created. Okay, my next album is Illmatic, and again, I just told y'all It Was Written should be in there, but A lot of people's favorite Nas album is Illmatic. So if we're going to talk about album that could be the best New York rap album, I think you should also consider Illmatic. My next album is Capital Punishment from Big Pun. Is Capital Punishment a perfect album? In my opinion, yeah. Yeah. Capital Punishment is solid from top to bottom. My next album is It's Dark as Hell is Hot from DMX. Again, another artist that changed the genre. Like DMX came in 98 when hip hop music was still hardcore, but hip hop music was going through a phase where the club bangers, there was a lot of dancing and a lot of collabs, a lot of features. Female MCs had males doing features, males had female doing features on there. It was a happy time for hip hop. It was some hardcore stuff still out there, don't get me wrong. But when DMX dropped It's Dark and Hell is Hot, that was a really hardcore album. And he kind of shook up the hip hop world with that album. My next choice should be The Low End Theory from Tribe Called Quest. Tribe has a lot of good albums. Like Tribe Called Quest has some really solid albums, yo. Like ever since they began putting out music, Tribe, like the first 4 Tribe albums were amazing albums. So I definitely want to put Tribe on my list. And again, today we're talking about the question that was asked to Jadakiss and Fat Joe: who has the best New York City rap album? And I thought this was almost impossible to pick, but I'm going through a bunch of albums I think that should be in that conversation. My next album is from Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Link. I think that is Raekwon's best album, one of the Wu-Tang Clan's best album, and Only Built for Cuban Link is a fan favorite. A lot of people, when they talk about Wu-Tang albums, that album comes up. You're like, the Purple Tape comes up a lot in people's top 10, top 20 lists. So Only Built for Cuban Link, you should consider. Next album is The Infamous. Okay, Mobb Deep. Realistically, you could put Hell on Earth, you could put Infamous, and you could put what's that next album they had? The one with Lil' Kim, when Lil' Kim had the single. I forgot the name of the album. You could put that album on there as well. So yeah, I'm putting Infamous on there. I think The Infamous is Mobb Deep's best album, next to Hell on Earth. But yeah, Infamous. Jay-Z is tough, man. Like, Jay-Z has a lot of great albums, yo. Like the Black Album, Reasonable Doubt, American Gangster, In My Lifetime Volume 2. But I'm going to put The Blueprint up there. I think The Blueprint was not the pinnacle of Jay's albums, but when it comes to it felt like he perfected his style, and he perfected how to put together albums with The Blueprint. So The Blueprint should go on that list. Next album, 3 Feet High and Rising from De La Soul. I love De La Soul. Thank you that their music is able to stream now, so you can stream their music now. So shout out to De La Soul. 3 Feet High and Rising is one of De La Soul's best albums. It's my most played album. I think that's the one I bumped the most. So shout out to that album. Next album is another Wu-Tang Clan album, man. Liquid Swords. Liquid Swords is one of those albums, man. Just the opening of Liquid Swords alone is just classic material. And around that time, Wu-Tang was just crushing everything, yo. ODB had a great album. Method Man had a great album. Ghostface had a great album. Like Wu-Tang Clan, when their singles started coming out, when the Clan started putting out single albums, they had a good 4 or 5 solid albums. Ghost had a good one. Ray had a good one. Meth had a good one. ODB had a good. So yeah, they shot out 3 to 4 or 5 solid albums back to back. I also think the score from the Fugees is another great album. I think should be considered in anyone's top album from New York. Lauryn Hill went ballistics on that album, yo. Like the score album is one of those albums where when you listen to that album, it's like, yo, like Wyclef was cool. John Forte was cool, Pras was cool. They were cool. But Lauryn carried that album, yo. Like Lauryn was the most lyrical person on the score, and it showed. And my last album before I go into my top 5, you gotta consider Iron Man from Ghostface. Like Ghostface had like 1, 2, 3. Ghostface had like a great 3 to 4 album run, yo. When you look at Ghostface run, his first 3 or 4 albums was pretty solid, yo. So Iron Man, Ghostface first album, I definitely got to put that album on the list. All right, but I want to get into my top 5. And again, when I first heard this conversation, I was hesitant. I was a little bewildered. I didn't think that you could choose one album over any album from New York City, and I still don't think it. Again, my favorite album of all time is Enter the 36 Chambers. Ready to Die is close behind it. But again, like I said at the top of the video, like when it comes to New York artists, like you could talk about the West Coast, how amazing the West Coast is, how many amazing artists came out of the West Coast, how many amazing albums came out of the West Coast. There's no denying how amazing the West Coast is. You could talk about the Midwest. You could talk about down south, Luda, all them, Jeezy, T.I. You could talk about Magnolia. You could talk about a lot of places that have great artists and have great albums. But I think it's a concession that, and this is an argument anybody can have either too, but some of the best artists and some of the best albums have came out of New York. I think if somebody puts together a top 20 rap albums of all time, I think at least 15 of those albums are going to be from the East Coast. I honestly think so. So no disrespect to the West, Midwest, down south, no disrespect, but the East, the East is a beast, man. So these are my 5 albums that, if you were going to ask me to pick who has the best rap hip hop album from New York City, these are the 5 albums that have to get considered. You have to consider Enter the 36 Chambers on the Wu-Tang Clan. You have to consider The Blueprint from Jay-Z. You have to consider The Infamous from Mobb Deep. You got to consider Ready to Die from Notorious B.I.G. And my 5th album is It Was Written. Again, I love Illmatic as an album. but I think It Was Written is just as good as Illmatic with much more content. So that's my 5, y'all. Drop in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your 5. Let me see what you guys are thinking. Let me see let me see what's on your list. And I'm gonna put this video. I'm gonna put this chat up on the community board as well and ask this question. I see Clayton has a comment. Clayton said the top 5 New York rap albums are Reasonable Doubt from Jay-Z. I can't complain with that. The Infamous from Mobb Deep. I can't complain with that. 2 great albums. It Was Written. Solid again. Enter the 36 Chambers from the Wu-Tang Clan. And Only Built for Cuban Link. Like I said, man, I talked to a lot of people about hip-hop, and Only Built for Cuban Link are in people's top 10s and top 20s. So, Clayton, that's an amazing list, man. Like Reasonable Doubt is Reasonable Doubt could be considered Jay's best album. Like a lot of people slept on Reasonable Doubt, and then when they went back and really listened to that album and listened to what Jay is saying on that album, the production on that album, and how that album has grew on people, Reasonable Doubt, yeah, it's considered one of Jay's best album. Infamous and Hell on Earth, I think, is Mobb Deep's 2 best albums, so great choice again. It Was Written. Nas' first 3 albums is solid, man. Illmatic, It Was Written, and I Am was 3 solid albums. I think It Was Written was the best out of those at that time. Enter the 36 Chambers, my favorite album, man. So, Clayton, I love that, man. That's a nice list. That's 5 solid albums right there that if anybody tells me any one of those 5 albums, I can't argue with them. Nah. That's a solid list. And again, this could be a conversation where you could have all day, because there's a lot of albums I haven't even thought of. I know there's stuff like Third Base. I know there's stuff from like people love Cool G Rap's early music. People love Slick Rick's. People love Public Enemy stuff. Somebody mentioned EPMD. Like EPMD dropped some heavy albums early in their career, man. So yeah, I just want to drop in here today, make this video, talk about this. I think this is a good conversation. I'm gonna drop this conversation on the community board and see what the rest of the subscribers got to say about this. Thank y'all for joining the chat today, man. Clayton, thanks for joining the chat. Tyrese, Charlie, thanks for joining the chat. And anybody that's watching this later down the line or watching it on our TikTok channel, drop your comment. Let me know what y'all think. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Sunday to y'all. Y'all stay safe out there, all right? It's your boy on Slow Tree. This is Talking Bars. I'm going to talk to y'all soon, y'all.